Matter of fact, Fayetteville is coming on the field right now, so we are about to go right into Fayetteville and Lynn. All right, we were told it was a kid from Lynn. I misunderstood. It's actually a first-grade student from Fayetteville.
In the number 1 jersey there, Fayetteville Wolves jersey.
Colton Brannon, an upbeat 6-year-old who loves to spend time with his family and friends. Very intelligent, has always wanted to be a zoologist because of his love for animals. Diagnosed with a brain tumor in January. It's very aggressive and is known to be resistant to all treatment. Colton has seizures, pain, other complications from the tumor. Been very positive, trying to live life to the fullest, and they are going to let him run the football in the first play. Here comes Colton.
Across the 10 and into the end zone. Touchdown for Colton.
Hey, we never pulled for teams before, but we're pulling for Lynn and that young man. And look, for Fayetteville and that young man. Look at the Lynn team come across the field.
Yes.
They came off the bench.
That's a special moment right there.
The Fayetteville folks coming off the bench, standing ovation. They're going to tote him off the field. What a
that's what it's all about right there.
Here's the replay for the folks in the stadium here. Colton Brannon.
He takes the handoff there, and nice run there for Colton.
All right, Colton got in the end zone, and he is jubilant, shouting.
That's exciting.
We certainly wish our best to that young man and his family. He did something a lot of us have never done. I've never scored a touchdown in a game, and a lot of folks have never scored. He's waving to us here, waving to everybody on television, waving to everybody here at the stadium. From the Fayetteville Wolves, Colton Brannon.
So Fayetteville will be on offense as we get things underway.
There goes Colton. I think Gerhard's going to maybe try to talk with that young man here in just a couple of moments.
Blake Matchin is the quarterback. He hands off there to Darian Cook. Cook takes off. He'll get down to the 44-yard line.
Fayetteville, of course, the Wolves under John Limbaugh. Seems some of the greatest success over the last 3 or 4 years that this program has had, a Class 2A school. And they compete in the same region with folks like Ranburne and Woodland. Some of our folks here in East Alabama familiar with those teams. Folks like Lafayette and Lynette in that region, Horseshoe Bend.
May I have your attention, please? Due to lightning in the area, this game has been suspended at this time.
And the announcement just being made that they will stop the clock and suspend play due to lightning in the area. They'll get everyone out of the stands, every team off the field, and we will be in a 30-minute delay.
Yeah, that's the 9:24 on the clock, but there will be a 30-minute delay. And the way that works is, Chase, as you know, this is where it gets kind of really elongated, so to speak, is after you have that 30-minute clock ticking, if they see another strike of lightning is detected,
add 30 minutes,
they add 30 minutes onto that. And you could conceivably go 29 minutes, and then you see a bolt of lightning detected, and it resets again to 30 minutes. So that's what we're going to be dealing with.
16 minutes. Time put on the clock.
They are putting 16 minutes on the clock.
I think that's 16 minutes on the clock.
Of the stadium. Gameplay will resume in 16 minutes.
But I think that 16 minutes is actually when they come back to warm up, so there's some time there and things like that. So, but we've had our highlight of the day regardless.
Absolutely,
if
right
we don't
here.
play any more football the rest of the day, Colton Brannon has made our day.
Absolutely.
And I think Gerhard may be down there before we get into storms and things like that. He may have an opportunity to talk with that young man or maybe some of his folks. But what great sportsmanship. It's hard to, it's really almost hard to speak when you know what that young man's going through and what he's been through, and then to see that entire Lynn team come off the sideline just as jubilant as the Fayetteville folks were to congratulate that young man, and then getting a hero's welcome ride off the field by the big boys. You know, you think back to when you were in the first grade and how you looked up to those high school football players, those juniors and seniors, and how just they were larger than life. And it was like that when I was in high school. Those guys were just huge.
And let's go down now to Gerhard down on the field.
All right, guys, only one touchdown in this game, and it was by this man, Colton Brandon. I'm here with Colton Brandon and head coach John Abernathy of Fayetteville. We'll start off with the star of the day. First off, Colton, talk about all the feelings that you had as you scored that touchdown.
I had a great time winning. And I actually had something to help me at home, which was that you drew, so I know what to do. So
we went to his house and drew up some plays.
I feel pretty good.
That's excellent. What was the feeling like when the players took you off on their shoulders and everybody celebrated, both Fayetteville and Lynn's players?
Well, I'd say it was good too.
That was good too, huh? All right.
Coach, incredible moment. Talk about putting all this together and having Colton get in the end zone.
Well, you know, Lynn's, they're great people, and coaches really wanted to do this for us, and their kids really wanted to do this. So hats off to the Lynn team. But Colton's our inspiration. Colton is showing us what life's really all about, and you know what's really important.
Absolutely. You're big about community service and players getting into the community and doing things with the community and having it be more than about just football. This seems to be an extension of that, and the way that they loved on Colton and the way that the Lynn players did too. I know for you that's got to be such a gratifying moment.
That's what it's all about. It's all about kids like this and what they can help us to accomplish, and looking at him doing everything right and him battling through his struggles. We're going to learn a lot, and we're going to dedicate this whole year playing for this young man right here.
Coach, fantastic moment. And listen, everybody's emotional about it, and it's fantastic. Hey, Colton, you want to do an interview quick?
And I actually did Fayetteville baseball as well.
That's right.
Baseball, too.
He ran the bases, too.
Nice. Very nice. A multi-sport athlete, a multi-talented kid, an inspiration to Fayetteville and to everybody that watched. Colton Brandon and Coach John Abernathy. Thank you so much. Coach John Limbaugh, of Fayetteville. This is a fantastic moment. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Gerhard, and what a special thing right there, and what an inspiration. I mean, that's special right there.
And, you know, Coach Limbaugh made a really great point there about, you know, Fayetteville, yeah, they're all on board to do that. They know this. But for Lynn to jump on board 100% and let them score a touchdown against you and let the – you can't say enough about Coach Aldridge and the folks at Lynn and the class that they showed.
Yes.
Because it took two teams agreeing to that, and just a wonderful deal. And watching that young man, he's walking across the field. I'm assuming that must be his mom that he's walking across the field with. And this is a day that young man and that family and the folks from Fayetteville will never, ever, ever forget. And I bet you the folks from Lynn won't forget it either.
Absolutely. That is a great moment. And all our thoughts and prayers go into Colton Brandon and his family there. We'll take a break and come back with more from the Gridiron Challenge. And back here at Jacksonville State University, out of the weather delay there with John Holder, I'm Chase Robinson. We got Fayetteville and Lynn on the field right now, and hadn't seen much of this one. Just a couple of minutes, and then we went into the weather delay, but we are back out onto the field. An incomplete pass there from Mackin to number 12, Tyler Allen.
And some of the weather reports we're receiving from out in the western part of Calhoun County, just to the west of here, is that we got some big thunderstorms going on out there, so there's not a guarantee that we might not have another delay. And because of other events that are scheduled within the facility here, these games, as I understand it, are going to have to end, as we understand it, at 5 o'clock.
No matter what.
No matter what, the games are going to have to end at 5 o'clock, weather delays, and no matter what, is what we understand.
3rd down and 5.
We'll have 3rd down and 5 for the Wolves. Mackin in the backfield takes the snap. Goes to the air this time. Out of the hands of Tyler Allen.
Incomplete pass.
So.
Allen. 4th down 5.
And we are seeing lightning here, so we may very well have another delay coming at any moment. Wouldn't be surprised. Fayetteville at least getting some play in of some kind, and that's good to see. And Fayetteville's got a good drive going here, but 4th down now and about 5 going on the other side of the 50th of 49. It has been, you have to bear with us here when we ask for your indulgences here. It's been a little bit of chaos.
Yes.
Because we're having to be out of this facility by 5 o'clock today, and because of weather delays and because of other things that have been going on, we've been all kind of alterations to the game, as far as the game management, as far as the time on the clock and all those sorts of things. So that's why we had so many running clocks and changes in the rules and all of that. So it has been, it's the spring, and it's been a bit chaotic here at JSU Stadium, especially over the last hour or so with the Spring Gridiron Challenge.
The clock running here under 6 minutes now. Mackin will take the snap. Look to the air. And there is Tyler Allen picking up the 1st down at the 39-yard line.
Get a good view. That's looking out to the west over JSU Stadium. That's actually looking out to the northwest, and now coming back into the stadium. So that northwestern sky looking pretty ominous. That would be back out toward Pleasant Valley in that area. And then we understand we're getting some reports of some heavy weather back in the Alexandria and Wellington area, and even further back down to the south there. So the storms have been moving due south to due north today, so we hope that'll happen and keep away from here, but lightning is the issue.
Brought down there was the running back. I'm trying to get a number there. I believe that was 25. Don't have a 25,
we don't have a 25
on the roster.
We do have a 26 and a 27, but not a 25. And that's another thing with spring football. You don't have your set jersey numbers, and you're just trying to find jerseys to play with about 9 days of practice.
Mackin fumbles the snap. Players in both jerseys fall on it. We'll see who comes up with it. I believe it will stay with Fayetteville.
This game is scheduled for 2 quarters, and then we are scheduled to have Cedar Bluff and Fayetteville play for 2 quarters. But we have a time limit of 5 o'clock. So from what we understand, that we have 26 minutes in real time left, period, is what is our understanding here.
So we got under 4 minutes in this first quarter. We'll see how it's handled after that. It's been or had to be handled differently all throughout the day, unfortunately, for these teams, as the pass is incomplete there. You hate to have teams like this travel up here and not get to play what they were promised, but it is what it is.
More lightning back off in the northwest sky here. All teams, maybe not full what they were promised, but all teams have gotten to play a little bit today.
Yes. And we got to see a very special moment at the beginning of this game, of course, with the Fayetteville faithful there and Colton Brannon. Three minutes remaining here. Mackin takes the snap. Lets one fly, and Almost intercepted there by Lynn's Blake Adams. He was the only receiver back there to catch the ball, and it came out of his hands.
Adams looked like a center fielder trying to chase down and save a home run as he just played center field and went after it. It really good. He covered a lot of ground there, just made like wide receiver, but dropped the ball at the goal line. But now the ball will go over to Lynn.
At the end of this running clock, an 8-minute clock will begin running immediately following
So we have a
expiration of the current game.
12-minute quarter and an 8-minute quarter is what we're playing with this round robin. So there'll be 8 minutes after this one, and then Cedar Bluff and Fayetteville will play 12 and 8 or 5 p.m., whichever comes first.
Adams takes the handoff there. It's about 4 yards or so for the Lynn Bears. About 1:50 left here in this first quarter. Then we'll have a continuous running clock, and if they did like they did last game, they'll just keep them on the field and continue playing that second 8-minute quarter.
So here comes Lynn. Looked good in their first game against Cedar Bluff. See what the Bears can do now, and there'll be a stoppage in play. We've got a false start being whistled against the Lynn Bears.
Penalty flag, false start
will
against the offense.
Push them back 5 yards.
Starting to rain once again here at JSU Stadium. Umbrellas and ponchos are coming out. Not a heavy rain. We did have a heavier shower that moved through about 40 minutes or so ago. This is a light shower, but it is starting to rain once again here at Burgess Snowfield. See some of the raindrops right there. Good shot of that.
Jackson takes the snap. Ball loose. Who's going to have it? It bounced around a little bit.
Looks like Lynn got right back on it. There were black jerseys in the area, but Lynn did a good job of jumping back on it.
So we will have a third down. "20 seconds left here in this first quarter, and then we'll hop into an 8-minute quarter. Continuous running clock. Jackson takes the snap. Looks to the air, and he finds Tittle. They'll stay behind the line of scrimmage there, and that will bring up a fourth down, and that will do it for that first quarter. And we are all tied up at 0 between Fayetteville and Lynn.
And we're not going to take a break. They put 8 minutes immediately on the clock, and the 8 minutes starts running. The last time they didn't even bother to switch the ends of the field. I think they're going to try to do that this time. But we are going to go right back to play. 22 minutes. I guess the countdown is on with 22 minutes.
So Lynn simulated that punt there, and it's time to see Fayetteville back on offense. There you see some fans got creative there with the blue tarp. Cover themselves.
And they see themselves on television, so they're waving and blowing kisses here at JSU Stadium. Cedar Bluff, I noticed, going back under the stands here. They are very hopeful they're going to get some play in their next game against Fayetteville.
So the Wolves back on offense. Mackin takes the snap, or that is, I believe, Pate with takes the snap, and will gain a few yards there.
John Dalton Pate, number 7, nice run. Rain getting a bit harder here at JSU Stadium, coming down pretty good here now in Jacksonville. A lot of storms around the area. A lot of heavy storms around the area. We had 2 lightning delays already here this afternoon. It's real like summertime, those scattered pop-up summertime showers with the heating of the day. That's what we're getting today here in East Alabama.
Pate takes the snap once again, and we'll get about 3 yards on that play, and it will bring up a second down.
Cameron Gilbert, 52 for Lynn, making that tackle. Lights are on here at JSU Stadium, so that gives us a better perspective of how hard it's raining here.
Pate will take the snap. He hands off this time to Cody Pate, and he will be pushed out of bounds.
Cody Pate with a nice run there. First down now for Fayetteville.
Great shot there by our field camera. Tony Caveman Castaneda came right for him, and he didn't even move.
Tony's like a fire hydrant. You don't move a fire hydrant, and you don't move Tony. Tony is not going to move. It doesn't matter who's. Bo Jackson could be coming at him, and he's not going to move out of the way.
Hey, tomorrow is Tony's birthday, so happy birthday to Tony.
Tackle made by number 42.
So we will have a second down for the Fayetteville Wolves. Looks like John Dalton Pate is back in at quarterback for the Wolves.
Coming off limping there just a little bit, number 24 for the Wolves, and we do not, again, have a 24 on our roster for Fayetteville.
Pate takes the snap. He'll look to pass this time. He does, but off the hands of Tyler Allen.
Allen wide open, passed just a little bit too far. And with a running clock, an incomplete pass doesn't mean anything. They just keep rolling right along. Some heavy rain. I can look back. Really some heavy rain. We're kind of in the middle right now. Obviously some heavy rain back out toward 204, Crystal Springs and that way. And then we've got some heavy rain now toward Chimney Peak back on the mountain there. There's a little valley up there on the east side of Jacksonville toward the mountain. Really some heavy rain falling up there right now.
John Dalton Pate will take it himself and get to about the 37.
And you can hear the rain coming. It's about to pick up that heavy rain that's coming through the east side of Jacksonville. Has now made its way here to Burgess Snowfield. It is coming down hard.
I'll continue here. 3:13 left in this one between Lynn and Fayetteville. You can even see on the screen it is coming down. Hey, we still got fans. They got their umbrellas. They're sticking it out down here.
It's my kind of fans right there.
John Dalton Pate, he'll just throw it up. Intercepted there by Lynn. Number 3, Cam Baldy.
No one there, just kind of threw that up for grabs, trying to avoid the sack, and there were about 4 or 5 white jerseys there. He had plenty of time to throw, plenty of time, and then the pocket breaks down, and he's just trying to throw that thing up and hope something happens. But there were no black jerseys really in the area one way down the field, but about 5 white jerseys. And it is raining in Jacksonville, Alabama right now, that's for sure.
So Lynn on offense. The handoff goes to Jordan Davis. He takes off across the 50. They'll bring him down about the 45.
Tell you what, in Class 1A play in Northwest Alabama, Jordan Davis is going to be, when they play the Brilliants and Hacklebergs and Southeasterns, teams on their schedule, Summerton Christians of the world, this is going to be a tough running back to have to deal with, this Jordan Davis.
Rain gets harder and harder here. Ball slipped out of the hands and onto the ground, but Lynn will fall on it, so they'll keep it with 1:40 left.
And this is the hardest it has rained all day. We've had 2 or 3 showers move through, but this is by far the heaviest one.
1 minute.
All the lightning we've had has not really been in our area. The lightning has stayed well 15, 20 miles away. We've not had any lightning anywhere real close to the stadium here. It's been close enough that we've had 2 delays. As Lynn trying to get something going here in this last 1:15.
Will be 3rd down and about 10 to go for the Lynn Bears. Under a minute to go here. We're 0-0. Jackson airs one out, and there is Micah Cagle. Down, they'll mark him down about the 24.
Very well executed play that time. Great play action in the backfield. Fakes the end around. And then a nice downfield throw. Nice catch, picked up a few extra yards, and with 30 seconds and counting to go, Lynn trying to score.
So Jackson hands off to Davis. Davis takes it on the outside, goes out of bounds at about the 16.
Timeout, but the timeout, the coaches are going to find out that you don't have any timeouts. So they've got 8 seconds to try to run a play, even though the last time they did give them one untimed down. So let's see if they can do that. 2-1.
And the white hat will blow it dead.
That is the end of the game.
And they'll say that is it. So we'll end 0-0 between Lynn and Fayetteville.
So now Cedar Bluff and Fayetteville will play a 12-minute quarter and an 8-minute quarter, or about 13 minutes, whichever comes first.
14-minute running clock quarter.
They will have a 14-minute running clock quarter.
As we are told once again, because of other events that are scheduled within the facility today, the stadium must be vacated by 5 p.m. on the button Central Time. They're putting 14 minutes on the clock here. I'm not sure if that is, they're going to play instead of a 12 and an 8, if they're going to play a 14. Is that what they're doing? So they're going to play one, almost a college quarter here, one 14-minute clock.
And let's go down to Gerhard Mathangani down on the sideline.
All right, guys, I'm with Coach Aldridge of Lynn. You got a chance to come out here. I know it's been abbreviated and you had to dodge some weather, but talk about what you've seen so far with your guys.
Well, we didn't get to see a lot so quick, you know, but offensive line I thought did pretty well. Defense kind of comes together, picks up turnover there. You know, it's big. You know, I thought we played well. The first game I thought we played a little better, but this bunch is pretty good. But, you know, I think we're kind of heading in the right direction, you know.
With this being a three-team deal, you got a chance to see some Cedar Bluff. You also got a chance to see Fayetteville and play two different teams, and I don't know how you schemed it. I don't know if you schemed it two different ways, but so talk about the advantages of that.
Well, it gives us a chance to see an odd front and even front and how you attack those things, and our kids kind of understand how to do that by now. Because you're looking at an offensive line that was mostly seniors. We got one senior out that didn't play today, but he'll insert next season. But I thought the young guy that came in did awfully good. So, but I thought our quarterback also played pretty well too.
Absolutely. One question before we get you out of here. Over the next few months, talk about what this team will go through and all the things that you'll do as a coaching staff to get this team ready for August.
It's going to get hot. It's going to get hot. You know, and that's the whole idea. Get them in shape, get them ready for August. That's what we got to do.
Coach Aldridge, thank you very much. Safe travels back to Lynn.